honey.
I don't know. Just pick an answer if you don't know. I told Miss Allen you was guessing because the questions was hard. So just guess if you don't know. But try to work it out. Okay. I trust your judgment. Okay, you need to be paying attention. Can you
Good
tell me
morning,
something?
everyone. It
Yeah.
is time for some tech time. And today, our tech time is going to be better than ever. And do you know why? Tech time is going to be great because we're going to talk about DocuSign. And yes, Docu what? DocuSign, and we're going to go through logging into DocuSign and what it may and may not look like for you and how you're going to get things started up. I know a lot of us have kind of questioned how to use DocuSign and how to get it off and raring. So this is absolutely how we're going to get things going. And I'm super excited to be able to show you guys today how we're going to do that. So here we go. All right. So you guys should all be able to see the sign in for Command. Now we're going to go through DocuSign in Command, and then we're going to look at DocuSign in general. But first of all, DocuSign is our port through which we are able to write contracts in Command. If you have never set up your DocuSign through Command, the first thing that you will do is you will actually click on your name at the top right-hand corner, and you're going to go down to Settings. Once you do, Command will be an application that will come up first. If you are connected like I am, it will actually say connected. If you are not connected, I will show you. It will actually have, let's see if it'll allow me to disconnect. It may not allow me. It will say manage or connect. So we are going to.
It did disconnect you. Wait, that's a different one. That's Facebook. It disconnected you.
It did. It disconnected me.
You just connected from Dotloop.
I did. Yes, I did. So we are going to have to go back in and reconnect me to DocuSign. So I need to go back in and connect to DocuSign. All right. Now, I have 2 email addresses, so I need to make sure that I'm putting in the correct email address for DocuSign. And I already have an account, so I'm going to log in to DocuSign. No, that's not correct. It is my KW, and I'm going to log into DocuSign. And I've already had an account. If you don't, you can create an account from there. I already have one, so my password's coming up. So I'm going to log in. Now you will see that I'm logged in at the top. Now there again, if you have any other accounts, you would do the same way. As you see here, I disconnected my Dotloop account. Same thing. Because I'm crazy and double clicked on it. Don't be crazy and double click. All right, come on. And I can always do that later. So once you see that you are connected to your DocuSign, and I'm in current status, you want to go back into your opportunities. All right, so let's look at an opportunity so we can go into DocuSign. And I should have a test one in here. Let's find it. There we go, test listing. Once you get to your documents section, you will have a black box in the right-hand corner that says Start a Transaction. When you click on Start a Transaction, it should automatically take you to DocuSign and should automatically put up your DocuSign account. DocuSign creates things called rooms. your room will come up with your test. Well, it will come up with the name of your opportunity. Mine says test listing. Now, the cool thing about this is very much like your opportunity, or if you are a past Keller Williams agent or have used something like Dotloop, you are able to fill out information in DocuSign that you can use that will auto-populate in all of your forms. So let's go through that really quick. In details, you will see the name, and this is typically either the name of your room or the name of your opportunity and what it is. This is the listing side. And who is it created by? Which this is our office, the Stockbridge service. You can also go in and edit all of these. So we're going to click edit at the top. And it gives you the opportunity to edit these. Now, because DocuSign is, of course, national, this is the United States dollar, and a lead of origin. If this is a lead that has come in a prospecting way, you can do this. Your agent website, company referral, you don't have to. However, this may be a nice way for you to track it. And your MLS ID number if you choose to put that in. And is this now a new listing? And of course it is, so we're going to put in a new listing. But is this now in escrow, which means someone has made, it is now under contract, an offer made, offer received. Okay, and this is the name of your seller.
Quick question, what's the difference between under contract and escrow?
Okay, in some states, not in Georgia, we close with attorney's offices, but sometimes during due diligence, they consider it an escrow. It's not actually under contract. It is a state in between where they're holding money as an option.
Oh, okay. And so once the due diligence period is over, then it goes under contract.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm saying that I am the seller here. All right, so I've got all of my information. I'm the seller. This is what we're listing. Property type, this is a residential detached, the year built. Is there any special circumstances? And let's see. And this one doesn't have any special, doesn't have it on here, but of course it is agent owned. So listing details, let's say we're going to list this today and we're going to list it till the end of the year. And we're going to list it for $200. We don't have any offer information or closing information. We can put this in if we choose to, so we can put the square footage in. Total bathrooms, total bedrooms, lot size, and garage spaces. And the annual taxes, roughly, okay? If there was a secondary, and then we can also put the listing agent in, which would be you. So I can go ahead and put my name in there because, you know, like double dipping here, being the agent and the owner, right? All right. So, of course, as you guys can see, putting this in DocuSign makes a huge, putting this on the side makes a huge, big step into making it so much easier to go through as you're doing contracts, because it will already be in here and done, and you will not have to go back and do it over and over again. Do you guys see that? Now, granted, yes, it takes a little time up front. Come on. I don't know why it's not letting me select. Oh, guess I got to select a country first. There we go. All right, and then when we have a buyer, we can put the buyer's name in there. Once we're done, we can go all the way to the bottom. We can click Save. All right, so the whole room has been updated with all of our information that we put in, okay? Now, let's talk about documents, because this is where it gets a little fishy. You all can get into your rooms, but if you have never added documents, you may not know how. Now, when you go to Add Documents, you click Add. Now, we're going to add the documents from DocuSign from the DocuSign forms. If you have never gone into DocuSign to do this, you will have a pop-up that will ask you what type of forms. You're going to click on the box that says R for Realtor Forms, and then it will ask you what your NRDS number is and what your board is. So you're going to put in your NERDS number, and you're a part of the Georgia Association of Realtors. Once you put those numbers in, it's going to come up with this pop-up box. The DocuSign library is where we're going. And then the DocuSign Select Library is the Georgia Association of Realtors. Once you do that, all of the GAR forms are going to populate. So because we're doing a listing, we can type in list. That's what I'm typing first. And we can go down to see exclusive seller listing agreement. Well, I'm going to click on that, right? So I have one form selected. Well, what else do you typically need when you list homes? You need a seller listing agreement, right? Our seller property disclosure. Well, that says new construction. So let's see if we just put disclosure. Whoop. It would help if I could spell. So disclosure. So let's see. Seller's property disclosure statement, condo, lot and land, new construction, and just seller's property disclosure statement. So I'm gonna click on that one. Two forms are selected. Well, this property that I'm selling is in a community association. Oh, so we definitely have to do a community association fees and disclosures, correct? Sorry about that. So we're gonna click on that one as well. So there's 3 forms selected, and now I'm going to add those.
Do you have to do the lead base, or that's only before 1987?
No, 1978. And yes, it is always a good rule of thumb to do that. Very good call out, May. So I'm going to go back in here. Same thing again. And even though the property was built after 1978, it's safe for me as a seller, and it will be safe for the buyer and safe for you as agents. So let's,
hey, Kristy.
Yes.
I was listening to something, and one of the agents was going through something like this, and she was saying that, I think it was a contract class. She was like, you know, I just send out all the disclosures, like to all the different types. I put it in, I think she said she puts it in one document or whatever, right, and sends it over to the person and just has them initial it or whatever. Like, I was trying to get that set up for myself, like just get them all in one big document and just so you send it to every single person and just have them initial it and just be done.
Right, because this is one thing, and we're going to look at as we go through. You can actually set up templates within DocuSign that you can do that. Have a template set up that you can just send all of the brochures and documents to anyone that you have for a listing agreement or anyone that you have for a buyer's agreement. That's one of the
brochures. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes,
brochures.
The brochures that you have. And then that way you know that everyone gets what they need. So that is a great idea, Kenny, and something that will make it easy for you. And then you'll always know that everyone has gotten exactly what they need. So now what should happen when you are in your room? Let's click
quick
on.
question. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
no,
To
you're fine.
feed off what Kenny was saying. Those brochures, and transaction desk, I would just email them after I have, confirmed I got the BBA back and all of that.
Right.
But with this right here, if you put the brochures in this room, I know they have access to it, but would it be the same as I sent the client the information?
Yes, it would. You can do it from here, or you can download and send them from here. Either way, May. Did you ever work in Dotloop?
No, only transaction desk.
Okay, so as in transaction desk, where you have the little, transactions where once they sign it, they can go back in and see it through AuthentiSign, and you send the brochures from there, but they can go back in and log in at any time.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same way. When you have a room and you send it from the room, you're inviting them into the room. Let me show you. See where you have people? Okay. Keller Williams admin, Stockbridge, and I can actually invite people into this room. See this little invite? I can actually email you. Let's say you're the buyer's agent. I can actually add your name in here and invite you into the room. And I can select a role for you in that room, which means you can only see the things that I invite you to see. See side and room role? Do you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, so that means that I can invite all of you into this room and allow you to see specific documents. So I can invite you, May, into the room because you're my client and let you see all the brochures, and you could download them, you could print them, or you could just leave them in the room and read them. It's like you can open the door in the room, but I've only allowed you to see all of the lamps in the room. You can't see any of the other furniture, you just see the lamps. But I can let Kenny in the room because Kenny's your agent. He can see the lamps and he can see the chairs. But Atlanta Stockbridge, because they check everything, they open the door, they see the lamps and the chairs, and they see the mirrors. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. That's how the DocuSign room works. So always think about that. When you open the door to the room, you as the owner of the room can see everything in the room. You can see the tables and the chairs and the lamps and the pictures and the mirrors. But when you invite people into the room, you're only allowing them to see what you invite them to see.
Okay.
Yep. But here's what's cool about you filling out the details first. When you go into the listing agreement and you filled all that information out, it auto-populates that information in here for you. So you don't have to do it. So it helps you. Now, the other thing that's really cool, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Let's go down here to the bottom. See, it's already put my information in there, and it's already put Keller Williams and some of the information here. See? However, you can actually go to your dashboard and you can actually, let's see, My Docs. You can actually pull a form from just a form, a general form, and see there's all these forms. Let me go down to, well, I'm gonna use the buyer brokerage agreement because it's first. hold on. I'm doing it the wrong way, guys. They're persnickety. I'm supposed to be able to click a form and then upload the form. Okay, it says it's added, so now I've got to go find where it added. Libraries. Yes, I know that's a sample form, you silly little form.
Maybe try right clicking on it.
I did. And you guys, I'll have to apologize. I've done something. I've missed a step in here. There's supposed to be a step where I actually should be able to move the form into my form. Because, okay, let me try it again. All right, so my documents. To add a document, but I'm not adding from any of those, and I'm not adding from my computer. And I apologize, guys. It's probably super simple, and it's right there in front of my face, and I'm being crazy because there's the library. There's the forms. Yes, you've done awesome, and you've loaded that document. All right. Well, I will find that out for you. I apologize, but you should be able to load it right in there so that you see that it auto populates everything and you can make a template from it. So I do apologize for that. I will find out exactly how to do that. So, last thing that we will go over today from your rooms is how to get someone to sign from DocuSign or to sign through the system. So let's say I have gone through everything and uploaded. You electronically sign through what's called an envelope. So we are going to create an envelope. Okay. So we are going to add documents to the envelope. So we are going to pull out the listing agreement. These are the ones that are from the room that we just added. Okay. And let's say we filled everything out. We're going to go to the bottom. And of course, our seller needs to sign right here. Okay. So we know there's 2 signatures that need to be on here. Okay. So what we need to do is, now that we've picked it out, we need to add a recipient. Now, if you've already added your people to the room, that's great. You pick a room recipient. If you have not and you need to have it emailed, you have an email recipient. So you put their full name in, and let's say Mr. Seller Jones, and you put their email in, jonesseller@gmail. Okay, needs to sign. And then maybe you add another recipient, but maybe that's the only recipient you have. But you add a recipient and it's a room recipient. Well, the room recipient, you know, is me. I'm the listing agent. Okay, then it also shows you the order. So I want Mr. Jones to sign it first before I sign it, because I want to know that he signed before I sign. Does that make sense? Now, if I wanted to sign it before him, he would be 2 and I would be 1. With the More section, we can add a private message to Mr. Jones, or we can add an access authentication, which means he has to have a password. That's completely up to you if you feel that that would be a problem. You can also add a message. Okay, and then you click next. When you click next, what DocuSign is going to do is take you to the signing page where you actually put where the signatures go. You'll see Mr. Jones is in yellow, and the listing agent, myself, and this one is in blue. So you're going to go all the way down. And Mr. Jones, you're going to click signature and put that he's going to sign right there. Mr. Jones signs in blue. Make sure you tab down to the next person and they need to sign. And it'll be in that color. Now, if you need to do anything else, format it. You need to put it in a different location, or they need to write their name. They need to do an initial. Maybe you need to make sure they initial out here, that their email is correct. They'll initial here. Maybe they need to put a date. You can do all of these things, or they can do all of these things, these functionalities, by clicking here. Now, once you hit send, it's going to send it to the email address that you've already put in. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
And you can see a recipient preview. Of exactly what it will look like. When they hit start, it's going to take them to the field. And like, this is mine, and I can click on that and it'll say signature, or it will have my name. Now, I know that was a super brief overview of what DocuSign can do for you through command. The great thing is, once you get to this point, let's go back a second in command, and you click on add a file, it will take you right here to DocuSign. And then you will be able to see all of the different files that you have within that room. It will say root folder, which I think is very funny. And then you can actually click on that folder, click on the file that you need, it will automatically upload them for you. And then you can submit them directly to the Market Center.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. So once you're back in command and you have done all of your transaction and your paperwork, your forms in DocuSign, you're back in the command file, you're in your person's opportunity, and you need to upload the purchase and sale agreement, or let's just say this is in their listing. You need to upload the listing agreement. You can click on add a file. Then you don't have to upload the file. You actually just click on DocuSign and you can go straight down to the listing agreement. It's all here.
Okay.
So this makes it so much easier. You don't have to shuffle paper around. And then it's right there. And even better, you can make sure it's correct because you can click on it and see it.
You said submit it to the market center, like it doesn't go to them automatically to whoever the reviewer is?
No, you have to click this submit to MC, because you see these little buttons over here that says open. This shows you that you've opened this file, but they don't see it, just kind of like we talked about with the rooms, that you open the door and only you can see it until you share things with people. So when they open the door, they can see it. Right now, you're the only person that can see this. Until you click on this button, they can't see it when they open the door. You have to allow them to see it.
Okay, and then would they be number 3? Like it's like like if you had 2 people, it's like 1, 2, and then they get it after it's done to review it?
Right, but you want to go ahead, anytime you upload anything, you want to make sure that you submit it to them. Now, let's say you got a listing and your listing went live today. You have 3 days to have everything submitted to the market center. So let's say you got the listing agreement, but they're a little slow on the seller's disclosure. You want to still go ahead and submit the listing agreement, even though that you know it'll be a day or 2 before you get the seller's disclosure, because the listing agreement is vitally crucial, because that's the way that the market center knows that we have the right to promote that property. You see what I'm saying? So you want to go ahead and submit it to the market center, then you can get the seller's disclosure as soon as you get it back from the seller. Because
so when you hit that button, what'd you submit? Did you submit one of the forms or both of the forms or all of the forms?
Everything you've uploaded.
Okay, got it.
At this point, you submitted everything you uploaded.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys. Well, I know that was quite a bit of information in one small package. We will continue to go over this. We are going to have a full DocuSign class in the next couple of weeks so we can have more time to go through it. But I want you guys to open it up in your system, open it up in Command, play with it, work with it. Don't be scared of it. It is a training. I will find out why those forms will not auto-populate. That may be a setting that we have to work on, because it is supposed to work. So see, even as technology crazy people get a little caught up sometimes. So you guys have a wonderful day. I look forward to talking with all of you soon, and I will see you in the next class.
Thanks, Kristy.
Bye-bye.